A very warm welcome to all of you, so many familiar faces of loyal friends that have come together in this wonderful Turnhalle, in this little hall here in Zuoz. Less than usual, so due to the restriction we only could have 150 people instead of over 300 we have usually. But welcome also to all our online visitors who are here, many of them, I know. Welcome. We endeavored, last year, as we couldn't be here, we made a 15 hours long live stream of longue durée, that was the theme. We put together shorthand with the enormous help of all our curators and in particular Bice Kuriger and Helen Stähli. It attracted more than 12,000 viewers. At this moment, I would like to remember Madeleine Peer, who was a speaker last year, who sadly passed away recently. Our deepest condolences go to Peter Fischli and the whole family. Matter and memory. I would like to welcome all our fantastic speakers who have come together here despite difficult travel restriction to discuss their thoughts and interaction and impact of their work concerning the topic. Matter and memory. Time is not linear. Time is like a heartbeat, which often is irregular. Time is expanding or shrinking in terms of experience it. Matter and memory is also not only about rewriting the canon of art history or gender, nor transgender, which brings a fragmented division and increases differences. Matter and memory is also about artistic, democratic, let me see, they stick together, association, such as thinking of foundation of the Royal Academy in London or the Kunstverein in Zurich, founded in 1851, still one of the largest in Europe, founded by artists. This brings me then to this little blue book of conversation over time, of the span of 10 years, I think, with Hans-Ulrich Obrist and Édouard Glissant, the writer, philosopher from Martinique. He proposed the archipelago, the oneness of the world, not uprooted or globalization, but the feeling of the one world, being one organism we all live in. He refers to the interconnectedness of music, of jazz in particular, the trembling sound of the universe, like Kepler or Ernst Joachim Behrendt, the humming sound of the world we are in. We are all in. Anyway, this little book, I recommend you highly. You can read it and reread it, and it's very comfy, pocket-sized. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to Katharina de Fever. Where is she? Not here. Oh, here. Katharina, who despite stop and go of planning, insecurities, never given up and keep everything on track, not only being an inspiration with her good ideas, with the assistance and help of Laura and Sarah. Katharina, thank you. You did an excellent job. Thank you so much. And then a small change of program. Pamela Rosenkrantz as well as David Alemann will give their talks in the hall before we all move to the snow bar. Now I hand over to Philip, who introduces you to Matter and Memory.
Dear President, dear Javen, dear speakers, dear guests in the room and on the screen, thanks for being here. It's a great pleasure to start our encounter. This year's Engadin Art Talks bear the title Matter and Memory. We adopt the title of the book Matter and Memory, Essay on the Relation of Body and Spirit, Matière et Mémoire, published by the French philosopher Henri Bergson in 1896. This book is part of the 19th century debate whether memory is physical, stored in the brain, or spiritual, resonating in the soul. Bergson proposes a synthesis, so to speak. For him, the body is about the present, the soul is about the past. Both depend on each other and are inseparably intertwined. Like Charles Darwin, Marie Curie, Sigmund Freud, Albert Einstein, and others, Bergson belongs to a period in the second half of the 19th and early 20th century where holistic systems of thought were at stake. His many books, many are still read and in print, are relevant again for the current discussion, be it the way that digitalization is affecting the perception and habits of daily life, be it the way presentism, the fixation on the immediate here and now, is eroding the notion of history, or be it the confrontation of human time with the geological longer time spans, the history of Earth. So Bergson's books remain fresh because of their capacity to deal with contradictions and their critique of reductionism and fundamentalism. For Bergson, concepts are not definitions, but processes. And in fact, for our encounter during these 2 days, we are not so much aiming at defining meaning. We are more excited about the tension that results between the notions of matter and memory, like the string on a musical instrument, for instance, a harp, and the resonance that this can produce. We therefore see our gathering as an opportunity to open connections and ask questions, also about echoes, traces, and reverberances. So here are some. One can record almost everything, but what does one remember? With machines, one can produce almost everything. Where are the traces of the production? Museums are continuing to expand. What do they repress? Monuments of the past are toppled in many democratic societies. What about the cult of the personality and the present? And what about the representation of those without a voice? Last year's Engadin Art Talks, like Christina said, took place virtually, followed by physical gatherings over the year in Zurich, Paris, and London. Paradoxically, this virtual meeting in January turned out to be rather accessible and inclusive because no one was here, and the talks were accessible to everybody with access to the internet. On the other hand, like with all other virtual encounters, the meeting also faded more rapidly in our memories. So we are glad that today we can at least partially rematerialize. We remain optimistic and believe in the vitality and energy of art that by nature is about matter and memory. We believe in its force to connect between people and open new paths. And we are again pleased to share our curiosity, critique, concerns, and optimism with all of you. Thank you very much.